It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the best show that you'll ever know. It's the Dep Lewis Show, and it's episode 42. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, July 23, 2023. A lot of 23s going on for this episode 42, but welcome to the show. Hope you've been doing good out there, loyal listener. Hope you've had a great week. Hope you played a lot of video games. Hope you watched some sports. Hope you made a lot of money. Hope you got to relax. Hope you had some fun. Hope you had all the best things happen to you in this past week. So welcome back to the show. Another episode of the Dep Lewis Show where we talk about video games and much more. So you know this is the best show in the world and the galaxy and all things included. But if you'd like to support the show even more and help it out even more, you could follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review. Turn on notifications. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a giraffe, tell a squirrel, tell a dog, tell a cat, tell a bird, tell a gnat. Tell anybody you want to. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. That email box is open 24/7, 365 for you to slide on in with any questions, feedback, concerns, anything you may want to talk about. Please email DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. The Buzzsprout page is the perfect hub for you to find the best place to listen to the show every week. Clips of the show are on YouTube and TikTok. That's where you can see some gameplay footage along with audio from the podcast. So very cool, very exciting, and another way to enjoy some video game coverage. And then I am doing a stream every week. I'd like to apologize for missing the stream last week, and I didn't cancel the schedule on there, but I'm sure it didn't cause, only a few million people to be disrupted, but no big deal. But I'm streaming every Thursday night around 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Somewhere in that time block, I'm going to get on and play some games on twitch.tv/DepLewisShow. Twitch.tv/DepLewisShow, the best place you'll ever know. And I did not stream this past week, so I'm sorry. I was actually out of town that day. I went and played some golf. I got some sun. I had some food, and it was a pretty great day of fun. So I was driving around a lot, playing some golf out there in the heat, and I got home real late in the night. So I apologize for not streaming, but I will be back next week with some more games for you to watch. Do not worry. But hey, I'm here for the podcast today, so that is the most important thing. This is the best podcast, the best show you'll ever know. And if you want to support the show even further, please go to patreon.com/DepLewisShow. There is a $1 a month ground floor tier option. It's a general support tier for the show. Also get ad-free versions of Dep Lewis Show's Off series. There's 3 entries in that series right now. And songs created by Dep Lewis Show. There's 2 of those on there as well. For the first 100 subscribers only, and the price will never, ever change. How about that for a deal? It'll always be $1. You'll have access to all the Dep Lewis Show Patreon content always. Go now and do this. This is an investment for your entertainment future. It really is $1 a month. Wow. $12 a year, and you can listen to the best show you'll ever know and all the other ancillary things that come along with it. I mean, that's a pretty good deal right there. All right, so for today's show, we're going to talk about the structure and the highlights. So we have 3 sections of our show always. The first section is the What I've Been Playing section. We're going to talk about a couple games that I've been playing since I last talked to you on this podcast. The mid section, we're going to talk about, a winner of something. We're going to talk about a release. We're going to talk about an announcement. We're going to talk about a documentary. We're going to talk about a court case. We're going to talk about some online lobbies for old games, and we're going to talk about a special edition console. So the midsection has a lot of information. You don't want to miss the midsection today. We have a whole lot of mid. It's going to take us a few times to get through it all. And then the final section of the show today is the Miscellaneous Talk section. We're going to talk about some comedy, and then we're going to get into the wide world of sports and talk about the best teams in the universe there, according to the Dep Lewis Show. So welcome to the show today. Hope your life's been great. And let's get into some video game talk. So, notes from the last show. I want to clarify, and one of my favorite games of the year, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. The 3 sections in this game of Hyrule are the surface. That's the one I could not remember. So the surface is the normal ground. So that's the Breath of the Wild territory. And then in Tears of the Kingdom, you have the sky and you have the depths. So we're going to talk about that a little more in just a second here. But those are the things I wanted to clarify. You got the surface, the sky, and the depths. Those are the 3 things that you are traversing as the Great Adventurer Link. All right, so let's get into the first section of the show, the What I've Been Playing This Week. And what I've been playing was what I was just talking about, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm still at 45 shrines. I'm over the 55 hour mark, I believe. So I bumped up on my hours. I've been playing this game. I just haven't been doing shrines. I probably have maybe 10 available that I can go to right now and do. So one of these nights or one of these days, I'm going to make an effort to grab a guide and pull these shrines up and just travel to them and knock them all out and hopefully get some more. I think I need some more hearts at this point. I can always use more stamina, but I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is at this point. This getting this far in about hearts versus stamina, but I should maybe look that up before making a decision, because especially I have all these shrines to knock out, so I'm going to be having some upgrades to do, so I need to be upgrading properly is my thought. But what else have I been doing in this game? I've been wandering around the depths some more, so I've been exploring that. I've just been having to avoid the gloom, and that's not too bad, but it does make it a little bit tricky for traveling around down there. But I do have more stamina now, so I feel that that's helping me with traversing anywhere in this game. So that's really, really been helping me. I'm really getting a lot of, I have over 5,500 rupees right now in this game. So that's pretty insane. I've been doing a lot of cooking. I just found some area. I traveled to a shrine. I fast traveled there just for the hell of it. And I came across this forest with all these apple trees. And I really had like 150 apples after chopping down these trees. I went through a few weapons, chopped down the trees, got all the apples. And then I went back and cooked them. I just sat there and cooked 5 apples at a time until I was done. And I made a whole bunch of money. So I've still been hunting. I've still been collecting items around the world. And I've been selling them, trying to get my cash up. And I have not made a decision on what to buy yet. I'm really hoping that I can come across some new armor that I want to buy. Possibly in one of I think I have 2 more sections to go to for like the 4 main quests. I've completed one. I started one in the Goron, and then there's 2 other ones. So I need to go check out those cities, hopefully, and look for some armor to buy, because that's the main thing I want to do. But right now, I'm sitting pretty with my rupees, and that's feeling pretty good. I've been able to buy arrows and, kind of just pay for anything normal that I want in this game, which has been helping out the experience as well. What else have I been doing? I got my rupees up, so I've been selling things. I tried to fight the pirates. There's a band of pirates that have taken over a city. And I heard from my friends, way a while back that they were difficult to beat. And they were like cheering when they did. But I was like, hey, I'm pretty far in. I got a lot of hearts. I got a lot of heart. And I decided to go try to take on these pirates. And I think I beat like 2 of them. But then I got overrun pretty easily by those guys. So I need to be a little bit stronger, have some more preparation before going to fight those guys. And what else have I been doing? I've been trying to find some horses. I've collected 2 of those. So I think I've finally figured out how the horse stuff works, which was kind of a mystery to me. So I captured a wild horse. I rode him back to the stable. I registered that horse, and he gets to chill in the stable, and I can, go get him whenever I want to. And then if you have him out in the world, you can ride him till you can't no more. And then if you get off him, you can call him back to you with the whistle, but only in a certain area. So if you get out of range, your horse is just going to be chilling on the map, and you can see the little horse icon on the map, so you're able to go back and find your loyal steed. He's just chilling there waiting for you. So very nice. It's been fun traveling the world around with the horse a little more. I am not as able to get off and, you can't just pick up stuff from the horse, I don't think. I haven't been able to do that. So, I love going around this world and picking up the shrooms and doing all that kind of stuff. So the horse does take away from that, but it has helped with getting around quicker, traveling some main roads, and just seeing some things I haven't seen before. So that's been nice. This game still continuously has things you haven't seen before all over it. So it's pretty insane. I'm 55 hours in or so, and you're seeing new stuff all the time and coming across more President Hudson signs and more guys who wants to see and to meet you up with his friend, and just everything in this world is really cool. Been having a whole lot of fun with this game. It's still the number 1 game of the year for me on the Dep Lewis Show. Don't mean to give that away so much, but it is in a pretty noticeable lead right now, so that is very great for it. Oh yeah, I noticed that since I've been horsing around a lot in this game, I noticed that the music changes while you're riding the horse, so that's pretty cool. It's a little bit of some dramatic music though, so it made me think that people were attacking me, but that was not the case. And The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has been a phenomenal game. Been having so much fun with it. I've been loving the open worldness of it, and I've been just relaxing with this game and enjoying it and doing some battles, and it's covering the whole gamut of things I feel like you'd want in a video game and doing them all pretty well. And shout out to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So I've been playing this game every week since it came out on May 12th, 2023. So that is over 2 months of gameplay on this now. You've been having to hear about it on the show every week, so hopefully you've been enjoying that. Hopefully you've been playing along. You're probably farther than me, most likely, but if you haven't started this game, I would highly recommend it. You can buy this on the Nintendo Switch game voucher promotion right now. If you have a Nintendo Switch Online, you can drop $100 and get 2 games from the list that they have, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is one of those. So I think that's a great deal and a great way to go buy this game if you have not yet. And, just shout out to the game. Okay, the next game that I've been playing this week, I haven't been playing too much this week actually, to tell you the truth out there, but I've been playing Zelda. I was playing that in some handheld and, on the TV. But the other game I've been playing with and sticking with since I bought it a couple weeks ago, this game came out, I think this was June 23rd when this came out. And I bought it maybe a week later, but June 23rd is the birthday of the blue blur, and that is Mr. Sonic. So I've been playing Sonic Origins Plus. So since we've last talked, I've been playing more of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, Sonic 2 mainly. I've been getting some good progress there. And I have also started into Sonic 3. I had a file going with Knuckles there, but I've switched over to Amy Rose and Tails, since that is my favorite combination right now. If I have to pick one right now, it's Amy Rose. If I have to pick 2, it's Amy Rose and Tails. So I'm keeping that consistent across the three games that I'm playing right now. But I would like to play as Sonic at some point. I would like to play as Knuckles. And hell, maybe I'll do a run as Tails. So this game has a lot of possibilities. I really like the map view at the beginning of the game where you can pick between the different games. I just noticed that this week. So it's just a menu option. But you can go to map view and it'll show you the museum, and it shows you the 3 islands for the 3 games, and it shows you an island for Sonic CD, or it shows you something for Sonic 3D. But it's all different icons you can click on, and it's how you can get into the games. It's just a different way to get into the games, but it's very cool and very nice looking, and I think this whole collection is a great thing. And this has me thinking, I'm always thinking about these video game things, but this has me thinking I should play some more collections, or I should put some more collections in my collection and in my rotation, because it's really fun to switch between the games, because I like switching between games. But sometimes I'm switching from Final Fantasy to God of War to Zelda, or Zelda to Mini Motorways or something. But this is switching from games in the very, very this in the same series, so it's a little more consistent, but you're getting a new experience. So it's just been really fun to, if you get frustrated in this game, to be able to dip to another one. And another comparison I've been making to this game, that I know Sonic is way before this other game, but Spelunky. Sonic, I'm just kind of trying to say that Sonic is difficult, and I still believe this. I've always thought this, and I do think I'm getting better at it, and I'm treating the world a little more Spelunky-like, where you really have random things popping up. Well, they're not random, because Spelunky, anytime you die, it's pretty much your own fault. In Sonic, it's pretty much the case too, but you just can't always be on point as the whole thing. Spelunky wants you to be on point every second, looking out for things, being aware of things, being prepared for things. And it's just, you can't always be doing that unless you're just very practiced or play it a lot or just get lucky. So in this game, there's a lot of that too. So I think that's a pretty big difference between this and Mario. Mario's a little more forgiving and more just about the platforming. And this game really is a little more about the environment, I would say, and the enemies and the patterns and the things happening to you, because it's not easy to get across these worlds. And even if you're just doing the normal map, you have some platforming to do, but then you have all these enemies, all these things trying to take your rings, and it can be tough out there. But this collection has been very fun to play. I would highly recommend it to a Sonic fan or a non-Sonic fan. If you're just a fan of platforming games that are pretty difficult, you need to go play some Sonic Origins Plus. And I don't know if in general people are saying these games are difficult, but just to me, I would like to say these games are difficult, and it's an enjoyable level of difficulty though, and it's been fun to try to push through these levels and get to the end. So they have pretty good checkpoints in the game, so that helps. But sometimes you'll get stuck at a checkpoint and you won't have any rings, and it makes it difficult to proceed. So I've had a few times where I've had to just restart the level because I'm in a bad spot, I don't have any rings, and I just keep dying a lot. So this game's been very fun. I think it's moving up my Game of the Year list, and I will probably be talking about it some more on this show because it's a real easy thing to jump into and play. week to week and switch through the games and have some fun, and a pretty low time commitment on hopping into some Sonic levels. So I think it's been a perfect thing for me to purchase. I've been balancing out some of my Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom playing, which really is just open world wandering pretty much. But those have been the two games I've been playing this week. I think I'll be talking about these games next week most likely, but there is no telling at this point. I've been playing a lot of different things recently. I've been jumping back into some old stuff. I've been thinking about trying some new stuff. But the only consistent one has been The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I feel like that'll be the case for a while. And, the other games in the mix here are going to be a mystery, even to myself. I'm just kind of floating with the video game breeze here and playing the games that I want to. So it's been very fun. Been very happy to play these two games, and I'll have plenty more to talk to you about next week in the What I've Been Playing section. But that's going to wrap it up for today. So I've been playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I've been playing Sonic Origins Plus. And I started Sonic 3 this week in that Origins Plus collection. That was the news there. So we're going to wrap up this first section of the show. You're going to hear some lovely break music. And then we're going to come back for the mid section. We're going to smoke on some mid. We got quite a bit of mid to smoke. So, bring your lighters, bring your papers, bring some water, bring a snack. We got a lot of mid to smoke on. And it's going to be great. We have a lot of news and information and things I want to tell you about in the video game world. So that's what we're going to do when we get back from this short break. Welcome back to the mid-section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 42. This is where we talk about what's going on across the video game world, across the video game landscape, and I'm going to tell you some really cool things. So the first thing I want to tell you about was a fest that happened last week that I did not participate in, which had been the first one I've missed since the game's been released, and that is the Splatoon 3 Splatfest. So last weekend there was a Splatfest. The Splatfest was to decide whether vanilla, strawberry, or mint chip ice cream is the best flavor. On the show, I said I would be Team Mint Chip Ice Cream if I played, and I was going to stick to that, but actually, Team Vanilla was the winner, and they had overwhelming popularity, Team Vanilla. So I think I did say on the show that I was leaning towards Team Vanilla just to try to be on the winning side, but then I wanted to try to pick a dark horse, a more, underdog, a kind of a cooler, dark horse that might be the winner, but it sounds like Vanilla kind of dominated this whole thing. So I think strawberry came in second though, and then mint chip ice cream was actually third. So I would have taken a pretty big L here unless my Splatoon playing was just impeccable, that I really turned the tides of the Splatfest. But I don't know if that would have happened necessarily. Maybe a little bit because some of my Splatoon 3 skills. But I'm sorry I missed the Splatfest. I don't know when the next one will be. This is the first one I missed, so that's a pretty monumental tidbit for the 2022 Game of the Year for the Dep Lewis Show Splatoon 3. It's had a pretty long tail to it. I could still see myself jumping back into it. I actually almost played some this weekend, but this is the first Splatfest I missed, so maybe a little bit of a falling off for my fandom of this game, but hey, you can't, there's not many games you play just for forever, but Splatoon 3, a really great game. I still recommend it. I believe it's on the Nintendo Switch Game Voucher promotion, and there's still some DLC coming out to it, which I might want to check out at some point. So there's still some history to be written here with the Splatoon, I would say, but we will see. But Team Vanilla, congratulations to you. You're the winner. And, I can't really complain. I like vanilla ice cream, so, go have some vanilla ice cream. And in honor of Splatoon 3, the calories don't count because it is in honor of the best game of the year for the Dep Lewis Show in 2022. So tell your doctor I said that. All right, so the next bit of news I want to talk about has been a release, and that is the release of Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 released on the Nintendo Switch on July 21st, 2023, so that was Friday, for $59.99, so it has not succumbed to the next-gen price increase yet, like Zelda has, so that's interesting. Zelda's been the first Nintendo game to be $69.99. I've been hearing pretty good things about the Pikmin 4 release. I've been watching some footage of this. I've been watching some reviews, and it seems interesting. I don't think I'm jumping into it immediately, and I don't know what my overall thoughts are on Pikmin. I've liked some Pikmin in the past. I really like the characters and the look of it and the vibe. I really like Ochi. He's a new dog character in this game, or I don't know if he's been in previous ones, but he's being highlighted a lot in this game, Mr. Ochi. He looks very cute and cool. But I just don't know if this game style is for me at this point. It's very strategic, it looks like. This game looks like it can be a little more frustrating than it lets on to be. A little more challenging, a little more difficult, but I don't know. The Pikmin series is something I should maybe start from the beginning to go see the roots of it. That is a common thought of mine with games these days, of these releases that come out of things I haven't played before really, or played a whole lot of. It's like maybe I should go back, but I do not know. That is a very difficult decision to make, and something I'm still mulling on all the time with my video game thoughts. But Pikmin 4 is released right now. You can also get Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 on the Switch. So I think that's a really, really great thing that you can have the whole Pikmin series on the Switch right now if you'd like to. You can play 1, 2, 3, and the new game 4, and just be pretty happy. So I think that's pretty cool. And I would hope most series would get to that at some point, with back catalogs being built and things of that nature. Hopefully we will have the ability to have our collections on, a digital collection spanning the whole series on a console. So I really like when that happens, and Pikmin 4 is an example of that. Okay, something else that is coming to modern consoles is a collection, a remaster. I don't know if it's just a port, a remaster, or what, but it's a collection of games coming to modern consoles, and it's the Gex collection. The Wisecracking Gecko is back. It is a collection of Gex Enter the Gecko, which is Gex 2, and then Gex 3, the Deep Cover Gecko. So this will be hitting the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam. There's no release date yet and no gameplay footage shown yet, but it's being remastered. So okay, they are saying remastered with the Carbon engine. And Gex was first released in 1995, sequels in 1998 and 1999, nothing since. Gex was a really cool thing when I was younger. I believe it was the PlayStation he first came out on in North America. So I did not have a PlayStation. I was more on the Nintendo side of things generally, but I did get a PlayStation 2 later on, and I think maybe I played Gex there, or maybe Gex came to Xbox at some point. But I do remember being able to play Gex. It was a little bit after the fact, and I really, really liked it. So Gex was kind of one of those games for me that was it was an elusive thing because I wasn't able to play it right away, or I don't really remember. This is kind of ancient history at this point, but I do have an affinity for Gex. I have a little bit of a feeling that it doesn't hold up so great. I've heard some other people mention that as well, so I do have a little bit of lower expectations for playing this, but this could be a pretty great nostalgia blast. I was trying to even decide which Gex it was that I played, or if I played more than one, but I really don't know. I think it was the first one that I played, but I need to do some more research on that by the time this collection comes out. But either way, this is something I could be picking up just for the nostalgia blast, and it's going to be cool to have 3 games in one. I've been talking about liking these collections, so something pretty cool. And very random announcement, and a cool announcement I wanted to bring here to the Dep Lewis Show, episode 42. Alright, so let's keep going down the list here of all this mid. Of the mid, we gotta get smoke on in this mid section. So there has been a new documentary that's been released. It's called The Making of Vampire Survivors documentary. It is on the No Clip Video Game Documentaries YouTube channel. They talked to Luca Galante, so that's the creator of Vampire Survivors, about this what game was a developer's side project that became a BAFTA Game of the Year, and a raging success, I would say. So this documentary was filmed by Danny O'Dwyer, who I know from Giant Bomb Content. So that is how I got privy to this documentary being released. Danny O'Dwyer, I saw it on his social media promoting it, so it really made me want to check it out. I haven't actually watched it yet, but it has around 260,000 views, I think, as of yesterday, and it's around 30 minutes in length. So I really want to check this out. I just put it on my list when I heard about it and saw it was released, and I wanted to tell you about it. And I'll probably watch it myself in the upcoming week, and I'll probably tell you some more about it after I do. So go check that out and go like it and subscribe, and tell Danny he did a great job and all that kind of stuff over there. It looks really cool. A great expose on a great game. So really, really neat. Really, hopefully, be an enjoyable watch. All right, so what else do we got here? We've been talking about for a couple weeks in a row now, Microsoft versus FTC. There was a July 18th deadline to get the deal done. That deadline has been extended to October 18th, so I wanted to bring that up. I know I was talking about last week if there would be a decision by the 18th, or if we would hear some type of news before then, but they have bumped the deadline to October 18th. So I guess they can hammer out some more deals and let the UK regulators do what they're going to do and sift through what they want to sift through. But I haven't really seen any more news or updates on this deal. It seems like the overall sentiment is that it's going to go through, that the U.S. regulators was the most massive step to get through. But there are some other hoops to jump through. but it seems like this deal is pretty much going to get done. But their official drop dead date right now is October 18th, so that is what I wanted to bring up to you on this show today. All right, let's talk about some online for some old games. So Call of Duty. So let's talk about this. Classic Call of Duty games on Xbox 360 appear to be enjoying a second wind after a server update sparked renewed interest in online play. So people right now are playing the likes of Modern Warfare 3 from 2011, Black Ops 2 from 2012, and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare from 2007. They all saw a boost. These older Call of Duty games, while playable online still a decade after launch, were riddled with hackers, boosters, and cheaters. But reports emerged last week that some unannounced work was done to improve matters on Xbox 360 versions of the games. And when word got out around stable online play, thousands of fans ended up jumping in. I don't know why I'm reading it like this. These are my notes that I took from the internet. Black Ops 2 has over 10,000 players online, Xbox 360. Yeah, and then Modern Warfare 3 had over 7,000 players, I guess concurrent players matchmaking the other day. So pretty crazy and pretty cool boost. I saw one person being very happy that he was booting up this old game and he was going to get back into the lobby and be able to play it. And it was making me think that some of these games I played many, many, many hours in. And if you did boot them up, there would be a huge nostalgia blast and maybe they would be fun. And I also got down the rabbit hole after looking at this that there's old games that even these games they've been boosted just because of the hardware of the Xbox Series X. You can play some of these games and the frame rate's more stable. Sometimes it adds the ray tracing in there, and there's other things that's doing to make these games look good. So, sometimes I'm thinking, it doesn't have to be a current game to be the best game or be a fun game or be something worthwhile playing. So, and with these modern improvements to old games, it's going to become the case even more. These old experiences are going to be able to be experienced in a very easy and digestible and pretty comparable way to some of the new games. So I think that's very excellent and a great way for preserving some video game history. And I think it's nice that they cleaned up these servers. I can't imagine that is too much trouble. And if you're going to have some players wanting to jump in there and play those, they talk sometimes about Call of Duty games coming to Game Pass. If you want to keep these communities alive and well in there, I think it's a smart thing. And it seems like there is enough players to go around on these lobbies, so pretty interesting thing. And if you want to go play some old Call of Duty or you own those games, pop them back in and see what's going on. Seems like maybe a fun way to spend an afternoon. All right, so the last bit of news I want to talk about here in the midsection today is there has been a new special edition console announced, and it is the Spider-Man PS5 console. It is a brand new Spider-Man themed PS5 and DualSense controller have been revealed to tie in with Marvel Spider-Man 2. So the PS5 is black. It appears to be close around the splash of red from the bottom corner. Oh. The PS5 is black, appearing to close around the splash of red from the bottom corner and a white Spider-Man logo. The controller appears to be nearly fully taken over with the logo in the center and the red off to the right side. The two items will be sold as a bundle, including a digital copy of Marvel Spider-Man 2 that can be redeemed on October 20th. That's the release date for the game, and this console is available September 1st. So if you want to get your hands on this console, you can September 1st. There's going to be some pre-orders up. I think they went up last Friday. And I believe this console is the same price as the regular edition, but don't quote me on that. I couldn't find the price offhand when I was looking quickly last night. But it's a very beautiful looking console. I would love for the PS5 to get a redesign because the PS5 is a big hulking machine, but this definitely makes the PS5 look cooler. I don't really love a white console too much because it can kind of look dirty or grody after a while, but this console looks really, really great as a special edition. And Spider-Man 2 is probably something I'll be playing. I've played the other Spider-Man games, and I wanted to make you aware this console's coming out. This could be a great way if you haven't bought a PS5 yet and you want to play Spider-Man 2. This is the perfect way to get into it. And they've been really killing these special edition consoles out here in the world lately. I still have my eyes on the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom OLED Switch. I really would love to buy that. If I, was just a very successful podcaster, best show in the world, had all the Patreon subscribers ever, I'd be buying that. Or Nintendo would be sending it to me. It'd be very nice. I'd be promoting the hell out of it. But, maybe one day. But there's a new Spider-Man PS5 console out there right September 1st. So go check out those pre-orders. That's what I'm telling you here on the Dep Lewis Show midsection. All right, so that's going to wrap up the midsection of the show today. We talked about the Splatfest winner from last week. We talked about the release of Pikmin 4. We talked about the announcement of the Gex collection. We talked about the making of Vampire Survivors documentary. We talked a little more about the Microsoft versus FTC. Well, now it's on to, it's not versus the FTC anymore. It's Microsoft's pending acquisition of Activision. That's what we got to start calling it. And we talked about the online servers getting a boost for Call of Duty, the old Call of Duties. You can go back and play some of those and have a good experience. We talked about the new Spider-Man Special Edition PS5 console being released September 1st. So a lot of mid we smoked on in that midsection. A lot of great video game news. A lot of great releases. And hopefully you enjoyed all of that as much as I did. So we are going to wrap up this midsection of the show. And we're going to come back for the final section, which is the Miscellaneous Talk section. We have some comedy to talk about that there, and then we're going to get into the worldwide world of sports. So go take a break. I like to give you some instructions though. It's the morning. Go make some breakfast. Go take something out of the freezer, defrost it. Go make some coffee. Go warm up your coffee. Put an order in for some breakfast possibly. Go take your dog on a walk. Maybe put some laundry in. Maybe clean up a little bit. Maybe get your life ready for the next upcoming week, and then pop this show back on and, maybe continue doing some of those chores. That's what I'm telling you here on the Dep Lewis Show, episode 42. So listen to this wonderful music, and then please come back for the final section of the show in just a second. Welcome back to the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 42. This is the Miscellaneous Talk section where we talk about whatever I want to talk about outside the video game world. So we have a few things to talk about here, and the first one being some comedy. Some comedy, that's the hint, that's what it is. Mark Norman has a new comedy special coming. I believe I said on a previous show that it was going to be titled Comedy, but it's actually going to be called Soup to Nuts. So I think that's a pretty cool name. Pretty interesting, pretty different. I like it. Soup to Nuts by Mark Norman. It is coming out on Netflix on July 25th, 2023, so just in a couple days if you're listening to this in real time. So you can probably hear a review of this special on my episode of Dep Lewis Show next week. And, Mark Norman's a hilarious comedian and podcaster. He's been doing some promo. He did Theo Von's podcast this past weekend recently, and it was a great episode. I hope I see Mark on some more podcast appearances. I hope he kind of does the rounds, because that is very fun when you get to see some of your favorite podcasters and comedians work together. And, you get to see some extra appearances from him when they're promoting something. So should be a good time to look out for some Mark Norman podcasts coming up this week. Definitely go check this out on Netflix, as I will be. I'll probably be trying to watch this as soon as I can, is my thought. So, go watch some Mark Norman and go watch some comedy. All right, so let's get into the worldwide world of sports. Let's talk about the Carolina Panthers. What do I want them to do? I want them to extend Brian Burns. I think they need to pay him a big bag of money. I believe I read that they made him an offer, and it was an offer that he could refuse, it sounds like, because it didn't get accepted. So I don't know how true that was, if they did actually make him an offer, because if they did make him an offer and he refused it, or has not accepted it, or they're still negotiating, I think that's a bad sign. I would hope this deal would be something easy to get done. He's Brian Burns. They're the Panthers. They have the money. They want the performance, so they should hand over the cash to the man and pay him. So extend Brian Burns, Carolina Panthers. You got the Bryce Young contract figured out. We just learned about that. It's 4 years, fully guaranteed, $37.95 million contract. It includes a $24.6 million signing bonus, and he will get $25.3 million in 2023 in a deal that includes a fifth-year option in 2027. So nice to see the quarterback of the future get paid. He has some very, very financial stability here, and great for him. And I think Brian Burns needs to be the news that we hear next. So very exciting stuff for the Panthers. I am getting excited for this season. I am on the Bryce Young hype train, and I'm ready to see him play. I'm ready to see him produce on the field, and I hope that will be the case. All right, so the best team in the universe, the Atlanta Braves, the official team of the Dep Lewis Show, and the official sport of the Dep Lewis Show, the Major League Baseball. That's what we're going to talk about next. And what did we miss since last episode about the Braves? Did the Braves have a comeback win Sunday versus the White Sox? Because I was talking about that while recording, and no, they did not. The Braves lost 8-1, so pretty sad day. The Braves were on a little bit of a skid. there was no Braves game on Monday, and then they've had the D-backs and the Brewers this week, and they lost Tuesday to the D-backs 16-13. That was a pretty insane game, high-scoring affair, and just didn't end well for the Braves. And then the Braves actually lost Wednesday 5-3 as well. And then the Braves ended the 4-game losing streak with a win Thursday 7-5 over the Diamondbacks. And then the Braves have moved on to the Brewers to end the week, and they beat the Brewers Friday night in Milwaukee 6-4. Saturday night against the Brewers, the Braves lost 4-3, and the Braves have one more against the Brewers today at 2-10. So hopefully the Braves will get a win and can win the series against the Brewers, because that is important. And then next week, the Braves will be playing the Red Sox in Boston, and then the Brewers in Atlanta. So get to see some more of the Brew Crew next week. So good to see Mr. Contrary come back to town and hopefully have some more good battles. Want to see the Braves. Braves are a little bit on a skid, but that is acceptable at this point as long as they keep snatching a win here and there. We can't be going on 4-game losing streaks, though. That is unacceptable. So the last bit of Braves news I want to bring up is, I think this is my second favorite Brave of all time now, or at least he's my original favorite Brave, and that is Mr. Crime Dog, Mr. Fred McGriff, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So congratulations to Fred McGriff, Mr. Switch Hitter himself, playing Mr. First Base. Wanted to be like Fred when I was little. He's going to be inducted into the class of 2023. He homered in his first ever World Series at bat and helped lead the Braves to the 1995 World Championship over the Cleveland Indians, or the Guardians, as we know them now. Scott Rowland from the Cards is another player getting into the Hall of Fame as well. So I just want to shout out Fred McGriff. He was my favorite player to watch growing up. I love watching him hit home runs. I love the way he kind of helicoptered his bat. I liked his switch hitting. I thought he played a great first base. I liked him in the media. I thought he looked cool. And I was sad when he left. And, Fred's played on a few different teams, but I definitely think of him as a Brave. But I believe I heard that he's going into the Hall with no team on his hat. Or, no team in particular to represent, since he's played, he had some great times with other teams like Tampa Bay, and he played with the Cubs, and I think he played with maybe one other team in there as well. But, Fred McGriff, shout out to you. He was my favorite player growing up, and I think Ronald Acuna Jr. now has taken over my Braves mantle as favorite player, and I don't know, I think he's my favorite player ever. Best player in the universe, best player on the planet, and hopefully leading the Braves to a bunch of wins this week is the plan. So go Braves. And I've been making a little bit of moves in fantasy baseball just to get on another miscellaneous talk here. My pitching has been going up a little bit. I made a few moves. So hopefully that'll continue. Ronald Acuna keeps getting traded in my league. People keep wanting him, and there was just a 3-for-1 player traded with him. So pretty crazy. And what else has been going on in baseball? The baseball MLB TV package is on sale right now. You can get the full season, the remainder of the season, for $47.99, and that is what I have done. So I've been watching a lot of baseball, and it's been really fun. I watched some of the Cubs last night. I've been watching the Dodgers. I've been watching the Rangers. I've been watching some of the Mariners, and it's a great time to be a baseball fan. So shout out to all the baseballers out there. And that is going to wrap up the miscellaneous talk section, unless I have any other miscellaneous talks. I just want to say thank you for listening. I had a pretty busy week last week overall, just talking about some miscellaneous talk. I had to get fitted for a suit for a wedding. I had to go to the DMV, and I had a bad experience there. I had a day off of work, and I went and played golf. I was traveling around, so it was a great week. It was a busy week, and I was still able to do the Dep Lewis Show. I'm sorry I missed out streaming this week, but I'm happy to have this show done. I love taking my show notes throughout the week and building my show, and then I love coming here and recording it on Sunday. Once a week on Sunday, it's the Dep Lewis Show. It's 9:30, so I knocked this show out early today. I got up, made some coffee, and was ready to hit the record. So, got some games to play today. Got some chores and errands to get together to get my week started before getting back into a normal work week. I'm going to get a plan together to play some games. I'm going to plan on streaming on Thursday night at twitch.tv/DepLewisShow. And I just hope you have a wonderful week as well. Just wanted to tell you a little more about what's going on with me. And that is really going to wrap up the miscellaneous talk section. And in turn, that's going to wrap up episode 42 of the Dep Lewis Show. So today, we had our 3 sections as normal. I'm playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, playing Sonic Origins Plus in the first section. In the mid-section, we talked about the Splatfest. We talked about Pikmin 4 release. We talked about the Gex collection coming. We talked about the making of the Vampire Survivors documentary. We talked about the Microsoft and Activision acquisition. We talked about Call of Duty Online for the old games, Call of Duty's online servers for the old games. We talked about the new Spider-Man PS5 Special Edition console. And then in the Miscellaneous Talk section, we talked Mark Norman's new special, Soup to Nuts, which comes out this upcoming week if you're listening in real time. It comes out July 25th on Netflix, so go watch that. We talked about the Panthers, we talked about the Braves, and we talked about some other miscellaneous things as well. So I hope you enjoyed this show. I hope you have a wonderful upcoming week. I hope you get to play a lot of video games. I hope you buy some video games. I hope someone gifts you a video game. Because how nice would that be? Just to have a video game show up at your doorstep, or someone gift you a game somehow. That would be great. I hope it happens to you. And I hope you come back next week and listen to the show. The last few things I want to talk about, if you'd like to support the show even further than just listening, I would really appreciate this. I really appreciate anything you do. But please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, review, turn on notifications, and tell a friend. Email any questions or feedback to DepLewisShow@gmail.com. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Patreon, and more on my Buzzsprout page. Clips of the show are on YouTube and TikTok. My stream schedule is every Thursday around 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Twitch.tv/DepLewisShow. Please don't miss it. And then Patreon.com/DepLewisShow. The best place to support the Dep Lewis Show, the highest level you can with your hard-earned cash. It's $1 a month for the ground floor tier. General support tier for the show. Also get ad-free versions of Dep Lewis Show's off-series and songs created by Dep Lewis Show for the first 100 subscribers only, and the price will never change. So there's been a few of those slots taken, but there's still a good bit open, so please act fast. You will have access to all Dep Lewis Show Patreon content always. This is an investment for your entertainment future. So thank you so much for listening to the show. We'll be back next week for another episode of the Dep Lewis Show. And I just hope you have a great week. And I will see you next time for episode 43 of the Dep Lewis Show.